So when it gets down to forward progress, this is one of the classics in officiating, and we all should know about forward progress. Forward progress uh, is what we always need to do on every play. So let's get started here. All right, let's start all over again. So what is forward progress? Forward progress is the inner advancement of the ball toward the opponent's goal line. The ball becomes dead and the down is ended when the runner is held, so its forward progress is stopped. So this is when the runner is advancing the ball. We're going to always give the runner all the yardage that runner or receiver has gained before contact by a defender, right? So we're never going to walk back and take away yardage, but whatever the runner has gained when they was moving the ball forward on their own power, they get to keep. The dead ball spot is the spot under the foremost point of the ball when it becomes dead by rule. This is very important because if a runner goes down on his knee or her knee, we don't spot the ball where the knee touches, but we spot the ball where the ball is at when the runner becomes dead, when the ball becomes dead. So if the runner has the ball in advance and their knee touch the ground or any part of their body touch the ground, if the ball is advanced of their body, we're going to spot the ball we're going to make the spot where the ball is at, not necessarily where the runner's knee or any part of the body touches the ground. So the head linesman and line judge are the primary responsible for forward progress. Sometimes the referee can get forward progress when the wing officials are downfield and the runner is down behind the line of scrimmage. Sometimes the referee will get the spot, but it'll be very rare or even never that the umpire will ever get the spot. So the wing officials are responsible to determine forward progress. Spot is the one who actually sees the ball when the play is declared dead. So it's all about seeing the ball. You should never blow the whistle unless you see the ball. Doesn't make a difference if the play is down in your side zone. If you don't see the ball, you never blow the whistle. That's it. There could be plays where there's no whistle. That's fine. But we never want to blow the whistle unless we see possession of the ball. Can't tell you how many times have we done games when there's a fumble, the back is toward the nearest wing official, and that wing official assume that the runner's down, the ball is dead, and blows the whistle when the ball is actually loose on the other side. And now we have an inverted whistle. The same thing with getting the spot. If you can't see the ball, then do your best to get the spot. But if the other wing official on the other side say, hey, I got the spot, mirror that wing official. Always make sure you see the ball when getting the spot and blowing your whistle. Umpires should never rule on forward progress because they don't have the proper angle to tell where the ball is located when the knee is down. All right? So never umpires try to get forward progress. Sometimes I tell umpires don't even blow the whistle. You're a glorified spotter. You only blow your whistle very rarely when you got a false start. But other than that, you should never put a whistle in your mouth. You should never try to get the spot umpire. You're hanging out. You're getting the spot in the ball for us. You're catching plays up the middle, but never, ever, rarely should you blow your whistle. So the referee may get forward progress when the passer is down behind the line of scrimmage and wings are downfield on pass coverage. We covered that. The back judge shouldn't concentrate on the runner and will rarely have forward progress. Now, this is a five crew mechanics, should I say. In a four crew mechanics, we don't have a back judge, so that's fine. But in a five crew mechanics, back judge should rarely get forward progress. So let's talk about the runner and contact and being down in forward progress. So let's say the runner get hit by several defenders, but remains upright. The ball may be dead and progress may end if the runner's voluntary movement is stopped. But we need to wait a few seconds because if the runner breaks free, and we're going to watch some videos in a second, the runner breaks free of that, then now we may have a new forward progress based on the direction of the runner of the runner when he gets free. All right, ball becomes loose in an interval between downs, between stopping and voluntary forward movement and sounding the whistle, unless the ball becomes dead on initial contact. That stop forward movement, and the runner should be no fumble. One moment, I think I missed a slide. All right, let me show you a video right quick. So we're gonna watch some videos that I found on YouTube that helps us understand forward progress. So on this face play clip, we're going to see a pass play. Now we got a screen pass to number 13. So the pass is completed, and now we see defender 21 coming to make contact with 13. So now we see 21. He's driving him backwards. Remember, once forward progress is stopped, the ball is dead. All right. So you got to be very careful of this because there's no fumbles on a dead ball. So if forward progress is stopped and the runner is pulling the defender pulling the offensive player backwards, understand that this is a dead ball. So even the ball break loose, let's say right now, it is not a fumble because his forward progress was stopped. But on this play, we see that he hits the ground. That's when the ball pops out. So it wouldn't be a fumble anyways. But if you look at the official, the official comes in forward of where the runner is actually down at. So it's very important to understand that when a runner get pushed backwards, not forward progress. We stop at the forward progress spot and not necessarily where the runner is down at. A second, I'm trying to get myself back on my other screen. All right. We still should have a share screen here. All right, so the runner get hit by several defenders, but remains upright. So we seen the ball became loose in that play, but again, forward progress already stopped. So it really doesn't matter what happens to the ball once forward progress is stopped. All right, unless the ball became loose on an actual contact that stopped the forward movement, then the runner should not be ruled a fumble. When in doubt, the rules say rule a fumble. All right, we're gonna look at a couple of in doubt plays here. Let's see if I can get this thing moving right. Wish I had two different screens here. Dang it. Well, is this one? I'm trying to go back and forth on different screens, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There we go. So here we're going to look at a handoff here. So we see 14 automatically driven backwards. Forward progress is stopped. So although he's wrapped up, this is when we're talking about he's wrapped up. We're going to stop forward progress. We're not going to go any further with it. He stopped. And that's what we need to make sure that we get the spot where the forward progress was stopped, not actually been driven back. Let's say the ball is fumbled right now. It will not be a fumble because this forward progress was already stopped. So we're going to look at another one after this. Here go a play where his contact was made, 3 broke free, and then contact was made on the 41 again. So on this play here, one moment. All right, so on this play, although 3 made contact was lost. So free is actually still on his own here. He could have moved forward, he could have moved sideways, he could have moved the other way, but he decided to move backwards. He moves back again, and that's what contact is made. So we're going to rule him down on the 36-yard line. No, I'm sorry, he breaks free here at the end, I think. Yeah. So honestly, I would probably rule him down to 36. They rule him down to 41. But the ideal behind this is understanding when contact is made and is break free, you give the runner an opportunity to gain yardage or do what the runner decided to do. If he's wrapped up completely, we're going to blow it dead and rule on forward progress. So we see here the runner, like this way, the runner was not backwards and continued to turn his legs. Unless the runner is subsequently able to move forward on his own power, progress is where the runner has originally or was originally contact. Progress spot is not erased even if the runner is subsequently down at the same spot he was free. So again, contact is made, he breaks free, he's still moving. He's not under like complete control of the defender. He could push forward. He decided to try to maneuver around and go around the defender and try to go back, try to backtrack, and that's where he made contact, and that's where they ruled him dead at. So a couple of things. Let's look at a couple of fumble plays.
Hey, Andre,
Yes,
I
sir.
have a question real quick before. So let's say that he's wrapped up.
Mhm.
He's no longer making any forward progress. Do we call the play dead with the whistle, or do we wait until like 5 guys throw him to the ground and jump on him?
All right. So again, once the play is dead, it's dead. It doesn't matter. He don't have to be thrown to the ground. And a lot of times we want to try to prevent that if we can.
Okay.
Once forward progress is stopped, we blow the whistle, we move forward at the spot of forward progress, not follow the runner backwards and then try to spot it there. Right. So again, once you gain that yardage, the play's over.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So even on a fumble, and let me see if I can pull these videos up on the fumble. Sometimes things work for me, sometimes it doesn't. Oh, all right. So we want to go to 14. All right, see a fumble and recovered by B15. So because he was moving forward and the ball was knocked loose, this is ruled a fumble, right? He wasn't wrapped up. He wasn't moving backwards. And based on what the officials seen, I don't, it don't really show if they rule this as a change of possession. But the thing about it, when you're in the game, you're going to make the best call you can make. We don't have slow mo in the back in our minds, and the rules actually said if it looks like a fumble, it's a fumble. But right here, they slow it down, and we see that it really wasn't a turnover because 15 never had control of the ball when he slid out of bounds. It was on the ground, still touching the ground when he slid out. But where the official's at, he had to make his ruling. All right. And 6:29. I'm gonna show it one more time. See the ball is not it's on the ground still. He just got it against his body. Still touching the ground when he slides out. Boop. All right. And let's see, 6:29. All right, see a completed pass. B52 makes contact. So unlike other uh, uh, like NCAA, NFL, a ball that fumble forward is still forward progress and still a fumble forward. I know maybe in college or NFL, if the ball is fumbling forward, it goes back to the spot where it was lost. But in high school, if it fumbles forward and is recovered forward, it that's forward progress, even on a loose ball. However, is he down though? If you look at his they're gonna show you his knee. Hold on. It could have been down, but I think they ruled a fumble. Let me go back. If I can make this thing work the way I wanted it to work. I tell you. This is a poor man way of videotaping. So if you look at his not that knee, but when he makes contact by 52, his left knee touches, and then he flips over and loses possession of the ball. So the question is, was he down or was he not down?
He's down.
He's down.
Yeah. But remember, when you're in the game, you got to make the best call, the call you can make. That doesn't mean it's going to always be the right call, but it's going to be the best call that you can make at the time you made it. So never beat yourself up if they show you on video, man, you missed that call. Well, all right, let's look at play coverage. The best thing to do on any a part of forward progress is actually reading the play. Are they in a run formation, pass formation? This is very important that we learn how to read plays. For new officials, if you played football, this is great. If you never played football before, it may take you some time to get to learn how to read plays. But this is where we know it's going to be a pass play, a run play. And we look at the linemen, right? The linemen, if they're firing forward, it's going to be a run play. If they drop him back, it might be a pass play. Now in youth, they may drive forward and it still be a pass play. And you say, hey, coach, you got to keep your linemen, teach them pass blocking. But in high school, typically, hopefully they're using the right lineman mechanics. If they're pulling forward, run play. They pull in back as a pass play. And if you have a lineman pulling, it could be a sweep play. Wings. If the play is short pass or a run to the flat on your side of the field, your first move should be upward, upfield toward teams A backfield. So we don't want you moving directly to the if it's close to you, because that's how you get injured. You want to step back, step into the backfield, let the play develops, then follow the play. You should never be neck and neck with a runner, ever. That's how you get taken out. That's how you get a torn ACL, MCL, and be mad at everybody in the world. Be careful when you're out there on the field. Do not let yourself, you might be fast, that's great, but we're not out there to keep up with runners. We're out there to officiate and to stay behind the play so we can get a bigger view. All right. Put some distance between yourself and the runner, especially if a herd of players is hurting your way. This is why it's so important to keep the sidelines under control and keep everyone out your way. There's no reason why players should be in the restricted area. I know we got to fight coaches every 2 minutes, every 30 seconds to move out our way, but absolutely there's no excuse for players to be in the side zone and off the field in the restricted area, period. That's how people get hurt. That's how people get injured. Your chains should not be on the boundary line. I don't know what is about youth football. Maybe not everybody has been properly trained. I don't know. But forever, people like to put these chains right on the out of bounds line. Why? Those chains should be 1.5 yards, 2 yards off the field. Everybody should be back so that you can move up and down the field so you won't get injured. Right? Until we all do it and be on one accord, these teams are never going to learn. Moving backwards into the team bench or off the sideline is okay. Sometimes you got to move straight back. But again, how are you going to be able to move back if you got coaches and players preventing you from moving back? Now we got a torn ACL, torn MCL. We're mad at the world because we didn't have room to get away or get out the way. When moving downfield, use a side shuffle step. That's short chop sideways. That keeps you ahead of that keeps your head and shoulders square to the play. So you see here as referee here. All right. If the runner breaks loose for a long gain, turn and sprint. Maintain distance between the runner and yourself. Trailing provide a panoramic view to watch the action behind and around the runner. That's what your goal is. You're not out there to show everybody you're the fastest person in the world. It's not a track meet. You don't have to beat the runner or be up to the runner. You want to be behind the runner so that you can have a bigger view to see what happens in front and behind the runner, just in case there's a block at the back, blindside block, the runner steps out of bounds. You're right there. You're in the perfect view to see it all. So let's talk about how we get this forward progress. All right. So now we got a runner. We're going down the field. The runner get hit. The runner get pushed back. How do we get the spot? So the best way and the only way to get the spot is to square off. If you think about military, it's a military square off, right? So as you come down the field, once the runner, let's say the runner make contact on 30 and start getting pushed back or pushing forward, we're going to go up to the 30 and we're going to square off at a 90-degree turn to get the spot. All right. After squaring off, the covering official should use a downfield foot to indicate the spot instead of staring at the spot. Officials should keep their heads on the swivel to watch for dead ball fouls. So again, once you get the spot, even though they're getting pushed back, you're going to keep your eyes on the players, but you're also going to make sure you got the spot as well. Now, this is the part that a lot of new officials, a lot of seasoned officials, and if you had me on you and bugging you all the time about using your downfield foot. All right, we met that. When the play is over, we want to move into the field until we approach players, then we stop. Again, a lot of new officials, a lot of youth officials, they never leave that sideline. Now, we don't want you on the field, but once the play's over, you come onto the field to where you until you meet players, and that's where we can keep all the gibberish down and keep all the dead ball fouls, late hits, all the antics that happen after the play. That we want to be right there in the middle of it, because our presence sometimes can stop the players from doing crazy stuff. If a spot is close to the line of gain, the cover official must come all the way in to the spot where the play ends. Wait for players to clear the path and then continue to the dead ball spot. So it goes a couple of pictures here about an official. So progress should be indicated by extending the downfield foot. The downfield foot is always the foot closest to the defense. Now I see the official use the other foot. Does it matter? Yes, it matters. Why? Because it shows me that you was properly trained. All right. Again, how do I know official been trained? How do I know somebody just out there faking it? Even by the simplest thing about what foot you're using to spot the ball. All right. So we use the downfield foot to spot the ball. That's what real officials do. Okay. They use their downfield foot, not their upfield foot. They don't act like they're walking on a tightrope. They use their downfield foot. All right. You move into the field until you approach the players. Then you stop. Right. Players coming, normally come into the numbers, and then you use your downfield foot. All right. So if you ever work with me, if I'm the umpire or I'm the referee and I'm spotting the ball, if you're not using your downfield foot, I'm gonna give you a funny look, and you're gonna say, "Oh," and you're gonna switch feet, and I'm gonna continue to do that until you get it right. Crew chiefs, if you're on this call, umpires, if you're on this call, make sure your wing officials are using the correct foot to spot the ball. Why does it matter? Because this is what we know. This is our little secret to being a trained official, is by knowing the very simplest things by what foot to use when spotting the ball. Right? I look at all that. Right? It tells me if you take it seriously, if you got a mechanics manual, if you've been trained properly. It's the simplest thing about what foot you use to spot forward progress. If the play results in a first down, only give the clock stop signal. So if we get a first down, line judges, this is you, I depend on you a lot, line judges, you're the one that see the chains. You have viewpoint of the chains. So I expect you to be there stopping the clock when the ball forward progress is beyond the line of gain. If the play results in a first down, inbounds near the sideline, only stop the clock signal is given. Do not wind the arm, then stop the clock. That's an old mechanic. They stopped that mechanic because we're letting precious time run off the clock by doing it. So we don't wind and then stop the clock anymore. We just stop the clock. Linemen should not peek back at the chains to see if first game is first down. Line judge can see across the field and signal. So again, little small things like this. My head linesmen, never turn your back and see if it's a first down. One, you should know. You got the chains. If you're on the 35, either going to be the 25 or the 45 is going to be a first. You should already know that. So you should know if you're crossing that line, is a first down. You don't have to look back. But again, on top of that, our line judge can see directly across the field, and our line judge should be signaling, stop the clock, first down on every first down. If players wind up out of bounds, wing officials should face them. It may be necessary to move toward the players to prevent confrontations. And if you do have to leave the field and you have to give up your spot, drop a beanbag, and then go out there and separate them and get the players back on the field. So look at plays at the sideline. So there's three possibilities when we have a play at the sideline. Either the runner going to get driven backwards out of bounds, the runner going to go out of bounds forward, or the runner going to get driven out of bounds lateral. All these things matter. So all these things matter. So let's look at this for a minute. One moment. One moment. No, let me go ahead and finish the PowerPoint, and then we'll look at the videos in a second. Am I even sharing? Let's see here. Let me finish this first. Apologize. I can get back to it. Come on. Okay. All right. So again, let's look at the first possibility, and that is a runner getting driven backwards. A1 forward progress is stopped at teams A's 38 yard line, and B but he stays on his feet. Right. A1 is shoved backwards and goes out of bounds at the 36 yard line. So the ball should be spotted on team's A 38 yard line, because that's where he was at before it made contact by B. If not a first down, the game clock should continue to run. So again, we're going to, the game official, the covering official, you're going to stop the clock. I mean, not going to stop the clock. You're going to wind the clock. You're going to get the spot where forward progress was stopped, even when he was driven backwards. This one, he goes forward. He gets tackled from behind. A1 advanced because he went out of bounds. The ball is spotted where it's close to the sideline. A1's forward progress in out of bounds, so the game clock will be stopped. All right. On this one that plays at the sideline, A1 is driven out of bounds sideways. A1 is given the benefit of his furthest advancement. Progress will stop inbounds. The game clock should continue to run. So there's out of these three possibilities, the only time we're going to stop the game clock is when the runner goes forward, when forward progress ends forward out of bounds. If he stopped lateral or backwards, the game clock will run, right? And now let's look at some of the videos. I think I'm here already, so. So we see that the receiver is contact in the air. Now, another part of forward progress, which we did not actually read, was an airborne receiver, even though airborne, if he comes inbound, he still get the furthest point of exception of the ball. So if the runner on this play here, the receiver, when he caught the ball, wait, let's look at it one more time. Let me see here. So when you come and get the spot, I look at he's on the 47, 46 yard line. Contact is made. He's driven backwards. All right, we're going to wind the clock. We'll let the clock continue to run. Here go another one here. This one is moving backwards. So we're going to let the clock continue to run. And we're not going to stop the clock. Forward progress is stop. Start pulling backwards. Remember see how he's facing especially if the runner goes out on the other team's sideline, you definitely want to keep your eyes on that to make sure there's no chipping, no extra contact, no unsportsmanlike tunning going on. You want to keep your eyes on the runner and know where the forward progress spot is at the same time. So on this one, the runner's making contact. He's still driving forward, and he goes out of bounds forward. So we're going to stop the clock on this. Forward progress was stopped out of bounds, so we stop the clock. Completion, makes contact. He goes out sideways, lateral. Clock continues to run. As you see, the wing official wind the clock. And this is the proper mechanic. I know we didn't see the other official use the proper mechanics when you want the clock to continue to run. But when he go out of bounds, we wind the clock twice. Oh, he did it, right? All right, last, before we end this, let's talk about cross-field spotting. There are going to be times where even though the ball is on your side, in your side zone, sometimes you're going to need the other official on the other wing to spot the ball because it is too dangerous for you to get to the ball. So always remember, don't put yourself in danger trying to get the spot. All right. This is where we got to trust our partners on the other wing official to assist us in getting a spot, especially when we can't do it. So the quarterback takes a one-step drop pass to the wide out. The pass is caught a few yards beyond the line. The receiver is contacted shortly after the pass, and the route is driven backwards toward the line of scrimmage. So the line judge must stay with the players. The linesmen use cross-field spotting to mark the spot. When the ball is dead, the line judge mirrors the linesman's spot. So this is a game that we did earlier this year, one of the semi-pro games we did. And let's look at some crossfield spotting here. So we see the wing official here stepping back out of the way, watching the play. Now, as the player is getting driven backwards, the wing official has to back up too. The head linesman has to back up, or he's going to get taken out. So now we see the line judge coming in the picture, getting the spot. All right. This is what we call crossfield spotting. There's no way the head linesman could have got the spot only because what was happening at the time. The linesman got to protect himself, so he backs out the way. He continued keeping a view of the players out of bounds, and the line judge comes and get the spot. And once the play is over, once everybody clear out, the head linesman come up and mirror the line judge. All right. So we're going to stop here at goal line